And boom, we're live. Alex Kelly.
I'm alive.
Alexander Kelly, as so many people don't call you, but you made me put on your header. So what's with the Alexander? Is it more formal? Is it more professional? Does it make you sound more powerful, like a Greek conqueror?
I've been going with Alexander for a couple of years. I've been trying to bring that to the top of my visible
What's the thought
name.
process behind that? You just don't like Alex or what?
Alex is good. Alexander is just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit cooler.
Okay, so it's the look. It looks
Aesthetics.
cooler. Okay.
Alex-thetics, as I would call it.
Because I was in a band with a dude who went out of his way to spell his entire name, including putting his middle initial in there, and he will remain nameless for the sake of this podcast because I ain't trying to put him out on blast, but anybody who knows who I'm talking about knows exactly who I'm talking about right now, and we always used to chuckle about that shit because it's like, what's going on with that, man?
I went with a middle initial for a little bit too, but
Did you really?
a little pompous. I mean, yeah, I think I did. I don't know exactly.
So you could
where.
go with like, what's your middle initial? Are you comfortable saying
It's
it?
D.
D?
So my initials, my acronym for my name is a dick.
ADK.
Yeah.
I was thinking if it was J, you could be, Alex J. Kelly. Like an Alex P. Keaton. You know what I mean? No? You're not feeling that one? It's a terrible idea.
I don't even know what. Yeah. It's been too long to imagine anything else.
All right, so now that I've awkwardly given you shit about your name, real quick, for people that don't know, because you and I are very close friends. We've been friends for a very long time. But real quick, just explain people who you are and what you do.
I am Alexander Drake Kelly.
Great story. All right, so next question. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm just kidding, bro.
I play guitar and write music in a band called Reaping Asmodeia. We are finished up on a new record that we'll talk about later. And we are signed to Prosthetic Records, and we have a lot of fun. And we write cool jams.
So why death metal? Because that's what you guys are. You're in a fucking death metal band. Let's just get this out of the way.
I got like 4 subgenres here for you, boy.
Okay.
It's not.
Hit me with hold on. Hit me with the subgenres.
I'm just joking around, but I would probably say progressive, technical, new age, industrial death metal.
Okay.
I'm adding some synths in the new shit. So.
I'm just giving you shit about that too. But no, my curiosity is because you're into a lot of music that's not brutal. And we've talked about this for years. When we used to be on the fucking golf course and shit, we used to have chats about this. And I asked you, I said, could you ever be in a band that wasn't heavy? And you were like, well, I've got some shit that's not heavy, but I'm always going to have to be in a band that is heavy. And I understood that as in, like, as long as you can be in a band that's heavy, brutally heavy, you can still do that other shit, but not vice versa.
Well, brutally heavy and heavy are definitely different.
Agreed.
What
do you define as brutally heavy?
You're right, though. I tend to listen to a lot of not heavy stuff, but I don't
I have that in common.
I don't generally write not heavy stuff.
It's fucking it's intense, dude. Like, you're one of those dudes. I always give you shit because you'll invite me over to your space and shit. We'll haven't hung out, you'll come home off tour or whatever, and you're like, yeah, come down, come hang out. And I get there, and I pick up your guitar, and I'm like, check out this new riff I wrote, check out this new song I wrote. And then you're like, dude, that's dope. Let me show you one I wrote. And you're and then I'm like, all right, well, I'm not picking that up again.
But that ain't always heavy, though. It's like noodles.
But it's pretty insane. It's pretty intense. Like, I've listened to your shit. It's definitely pretty up there.
It's involved, and there's not a lot of, at least previously there haven't been a lot of points to really take a breath and rest in it, But the new stuff we've been doing, I think we've really tried to up our songwriting abilities and approach. And
now Reaping, I'm jumping in here because you're talking about the new stuff.
We got some new stuff that not a lot of people have heard much about.
Because when's the last time you dropped a record?
Impuritize came out in 2017.
Okay. So
yeah, it was like fucking like February.
Gotcha. Okay. So the reason I get confused is because not only have I known you forever, and we've both been in a ton of bands, but I've also actually known your drummer and the old iteration of this band, which was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost felt like this was like two bands almost merging. It was with Dead Hands Rising into, and I think, were you in The Body Beneath with Pat?
Yeah, him and I joined the By Beneath at the same time.
Right, that's what it was. And then that band evolved into something else, and you ended up in Dead Hands, but then Dead Hands immediately became Reaping, or so, that's what it seemed like. Is that right?
I was in Body Beneath for a couple different member changes, but they weren't quite Australis yet, because Body Beneath kind of turned into Australis.
That's who it was, Australis. That's right.
But I did leave them on like a moment's notice to join with Dead Hands Rising.
And it was okay. And it was Dead Hands.
That band kind of defunct, and then Daniel, myself, and Logan started jamming together, and we decided we didn't want to keep, or like we didn't want to try and like continue with Dead Hands because it just didn't make any sense.
And it is a little disingenuous for me to say that Reaping is an iteration of that band. That's a little unfair for me to say, because you guys really did kind of,
I think a lot of people
rebrand and rebuild from the ground up.
I think in the beginning a lot of people viewed that, and it was maybe hard to not see it like that, because we were already jamming together. But it definitely went away from that.
And I agree, because like, I think, to bring it back what you were saying just a minute ago about like the new stuff, you were saying, our old stuff, we didn't really, give it a chance to breathe or whatever. And, but the new stuff, that I think was a smart move to rename and rebrand and go in a different direction, because now listening to the newer stuff that I've heard from you guys, even the shit you were playing before the podcast, it's leaps and bounds a different band than with Dead Hands Rising.
Definitely different band.
Completely different band.
And
even though
at this point, yeah, it's
the
way I look at holding a guitar, even like everything about my even view of the instrument is changed
from being in this band.
Just from, it's been over 10 years.
How so? How has your view on holding and playing
just
guitar
like
changed?
Even just like where I position it, the type of like picks I use, and just all the gear I use, how I pick even.
Interesting.
My technique is completely.
I suppose that makes sense though. I suppose
even
that makes
down
sense.
to like playing more with the wrist and less with my fingers.
Really,
a lot of stuff, and then again, obviously, just the other elements and everything else we're trying to write in our music,
because you're the main songwriter in the band as far as the riffage goes. Because you don't even have two guitar players anymore, do you?
Nope,
you never
me.
Replaced what's his name?
We had the last time we had another guitar player was Matthew Kelsness.
I remember that,
and that was a long time ago.
Didn't he just kind of leave last minute before tour or something like that?
He ended up bowing out. I don't remember if it was right before a tour or not. But he went on to do some other bands and played with another buddy of ours named Matthew Sprinkles, and great guitar player.
Yeah,
I actually haven't talked to him in a while. I'll have to hit him up. But yeah, that was probably like 6 years ago.
And you just never replaced him.
I could have looked harder, but I couldn't think of anyone that would be the right fit.
It's a tough bill. It's a tough bill, dude. It's a tough shoe to fill, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Well, now there's so many young and aspiring guitar players emerging. It's like I don't even know who they all are, but it's just like at this point, I think I've just gotten used to it and kind of figured out how we can get away doing one guitar player, and even how we play live. Now I am playing the backing guitar track for the other half.
Oh,
so you still get the full experience.
So what are you playing to a click?
Yeah, we've been playing to a click for a long time.
No shit.
Daniel actually plays to a click with his monitors, and I just have plugs. I don't have any monitors.
Okay, so you're just playing to him, but
I'm playing to him. He plays to a
so that's
he
a
had to
little
take the
better.
time to really get himself,
that still just bugs the shit out of me. Like, I just don't like it. Now, for you guys, it makes sense, and how you've been doing that for a while now?
Yeah,
because I've never noticed it, and I can usually tell when you're playing to a click. Not you specifically, but anyone. Like, it's pretty easy to see.
You're saying we're
figure
a lot
out.
of push and pull, huh? I mean, our music
is a good
jumpy,
way
though.
that is a good way to put it. And I don't know if this is the way you meant it, but this is a really great way to put it. Actually, is there's a natural flow to live music, natural tempo swings where it's not supposed to actually increase in tempo or any of those kind of things, but it naturally happens and it's part of the organic process. And I don't know if you meant it this way, but a push and pull is a great way to explain the weird tension of a live band playing to a click, because they want to push the tempo but they can't, so they have to pull back, or they want to pull the tempo down but they can't, so they have to push it back up. And so there's these dynamic changes where it's like it sounds, I don't know why, but it sounds fine on record, but when it gets converted to a live setting, it just doesn't work, for me at least, as a listener. I don't know. What do you think?
Depends on the kind of music too.
Because I've never noticed it with you guys either. That's the other wild thing.
Well, and for what we're doing, we're definitely trying to be as tight as we can be on the beat. All the notes got to be, they got a position where we can't really, a lot of the more involved riffs, I can't really be swinging it too much. We do have more groovy riffs as well, and slower riffs where I can kind of, I can fuck with them a little bit.
That makes sense, though, being like in a death metal thing, because a lot of that music sounds like shit live because everything isn't exact, because there's so many notes, and when everyone's not playing perfect, and that really comes down to like having a good sound guy, having good equipment, not just being on your game and playing to a click, because you can be on your game and play to a click all day, but if you can't hear each other at the right levels in that style of music, it's like being in a hurricane without fucking.
Well, and the reason behind that is I was thinking about this the other night.
That's a terrible analogy.
A hurricane? That analogy blew.
Oh, we should warn people that you're full of puns. If you don't like puns, brace yourself, because it's gonna be a fun podcast. There's a bunch of stories I want to get into with Alex and shit, but he'll hit you with puns out of nowhere.
Mic check.
And it'll drive you nuts if you don't love them. I love them. I'm just too stupid to do them on my own. I'm never witty enough.
I feel like when you're around me, you'll be throwing them out.
No, that's everyone else. I just laugh, and I'm just in awe of your guys' ability to do it, because they're so bad, especially the bad ones. They're great, though. I love them.
I try and cap them a bit these days,
though. One thing, I don't remember what we were just talking about, but one thing I want to make sure that I have you tell this story is when you were coming back from, was it Mille Lacs Metal something? One of the
Mille Lacs Metal Madness.
Or Metal Mayhem or some stupid shit. I don't know. We played that thing once or twice.
06.
Yeah. And you rolled your truck? Is that right?
That wasn't from that. That was from another show.
Okay, tell that story, because dude, this is a mind-blowing story.
I mean, played St. Cloud. I think it was like the Toy Box or something. I can't remember the exact venue name.
And your band wasn't big. You guys weren't popular.
I was in 6.
Yep.
And if you've been in Minnesota for the metal scene for at least 10 years, 15 years, you would probably have heard of them.
Yep.
But we played with, I can't remember the damn name of the band right now, but they were signed to Victory. They were like recently signed to Victory that day. And Pariah.
Ah, I've heard of them.
So then we went to an after party, and I drove home, and I think it was by Kelly Farm. That's a coincidence there. But
is that the place that grows the apples?
I never actually went there.
Sorry. Either way.
But applesauce, bitch. Yeah, I fell asleep, woke up, and I was gonna hit a mailbox, and I just hit the brakes, and I turned in and rolled my truck and I like overcorrected. I rolled my truck like 5 or 6 times, kind of tucked her in, and just was like, all right, just waited it out. But long story short, yeah, I fucked my hand up real bad. Couldn't play guitar for like 3 months. So I tried to practice right hand only for a bit, but that's
because you were laid up in the hospital. You got fucked up.
Yeah.
Man. And this is why I think this is such an interesting story, because like you were a pretty good guitar player, but I would have put you on like my level before the accident. And then something happened while you were in the hospital, and you came out of the hospital a better guitar player. And then within 6 months of being out of the hospital, you took this leap where like it was clear you were on suddenly a different trajectory than everyone else. So what did the devil require when you sold your soul? Like, what was the exact deal you made with the devil? I'm just kidding.
It was about an inch of pinky tendon that I had to donate.
Is that what it was? You got injured and something switched in physically, like a Les Paul scenario?
They had to reconnect my tendon. I could see him. I could like move my hand and see him. It was like a bloody fucking gash.
What's that like, dude? Being able to see that?
Well, it was tough because you had to climb out of the, like I was driver's side down, so there was asphalt to my fucking left side, and then all I was thinking about was,
do you know how you broke your hand?
I had it out the window.
Okay.
And when I rolled, that's the only thing I could think of.
So it got crushed.
But the only thing I could think of when I was done was like, I got a half drinking bottle of Captain Morgan somewhere in this truck. I got to find it. So I was laying on my side, reaching back, trying to find the bottle.
Way.
Yeah, I was by myself, and I was like, I got to get rid of this before the cops come. And I finally found it, and I was like, ended up being turtle wax wipes. I was like, fuck. I finally found it. I stood up and just whipped it into the field. And then I had to like climb out of the other window, and it's like the width of a vehicle is pretty wide. Like it was kind of tall to get out.
Right.
And I just like saw my hand. I was like, squeezed it.
Put pressure on it. Smart.
Yep. Some dude ended up stopping, and he gave me a shirt and he tied it around my hand for me.
Nice.
But I was just like pacing. Couldn't stop pacing.
Did you go into shock? Or do you remember everything?
Yeah, I remember everything. I was just kind of walking around like, fuck, looked at my truck. I was like, it was like 3 a.m. I tried calling my mom, but they didn't answer. They did come to the hospital later that night.
Of course.
Not the call they wanted to hear. But yeah, I mean, it was all fine. Like, I was very fortunate. I had my seatbelt on.
Your truck got totaled, though.
My truck got totaled. I just replaced the side mirror and filled the tank.
But your gear survived.
All my gear was in my truck, and my 5150 flew out my window and rolled down the highway. And I got it back. My dad, dude, bless his soul, fucking went to the junkyard and like got all my equipment out of my truck.
Dope.
My guitar, my cabinet.
Didn't your guitar go flying too? And
the coffin case got pretty broken.
But the guitar was okay.
I feel like the head was the only thing that actually projected away. But I didn't even have to change the settings.
Did the 5150 the settings?
The tubes and everything was fine. There was like a ding in the corner, and it was
there's
like
your endorsement. There's your endorsement.
God,
PV man. And Eddie Van Halen designed a great amp, and SKB was the case, right, for your guitar. Like your guitar ended up.
No, it was coffin case.
It was a coffin case,
and the coffin case got
from
fucked.
the shitty fucking BC Rich.
My first guitar. My BC Rich Platinum Warlock Widow headstock.
The old Dimebag Darrell style. It wasn't a Dimebag Darrell, but that was what they were trying to do, is make
I
those
saw a picture of Mick Thompson in a circus magazine playing that, and I was like, fuck, that's what I need to play.
That's a fucking wild story, bro. Like, you could have died. A lot
could
of people
have
died. A lot of guys wouldn't have ever played guitar again because they wouldn't have. And that's what I'm getting at. Like, what was it that pushed you to like not? I don't know, dude. There's so
I wasn't
many
done to play.
layers.
I wasn't done playing guitar. I was just like, there's more I wanted to do, you know.
But you didn't just like keep playing. You like somehow got dramatically better. Like how does that happen?
I had like 3 months of me time.
And that's all you did, or what? What do you?
I mean, I did practice. Like I said, I tried to practice right hand alone, and that, I mean, it gets kind of boring. But
did you not practice that much before you went into the hospital?
I don't think I maybe focused as hard as I did after that. Another thing too is part of my physical therapy of my left hand, because I couldn't even have full motion of it for 3 months. You know, I had to stretch it, and when I finally was able to get it around a fretboard,
right,
and work that was the best thing I could have done.
So it actually was part of your physical therapy.
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
and then seeing like real progress was like. You know,
because
like
you're not
maybe
just
it didn't
squeezing
feel
a
so
tennis
tight.
ball. You're not just fucking doing some mundane activity. You're also engaging your brain in that creative mode as well. And then you're seeing residual physical and mental aspects come back.
I'd
That
say
makes sense.
I don't
that makes
have
a ton of sense.
any really permanent damage other than a scar.
That's fucking crazy. You got lucky, brother. You got real fucking lucky.
Wear your seatbelts. Wear a helmet always.
That's fucking
I didn't wear a
wild.
helmet. But
You didn't wear a helmet. Well, of course you're in the truck. Nobody wears a fucking helmet.
wear your life jacket while you drive.
You see people wearing their fucking masks while they're driving?
Oh, another thing I want to debunk is you cannot kick a windshield out. Even if it's smashed already. Like, that shit is hard as fuck.
Really?
You can't do it, man.
And you're a pretty strong motherfucker. You're like 6'2", 6'3".
6'4"?
You're 6'4". Holy shit. What'd you grow? I didn't think you were that tall.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. But either way, yeah, so that's really saying something. So the movies, they're a damn lie.
Hell no.
They're a goddamn lie.
At least not in a 98 Blazer.
They're built like fucking tanks, dude. That is hilarious, man. All right, so you got some shit that you brought to share with us. And we're gonna test the old algorithm and find out if we're gonna get flagged for this. So let's hope it doesn't happen. We're gonna give a shout out real quick to fucking
Prosthetic Records.
Sorry, I've been drinking. Yeah, we're gonna do a shout out to Prosthetic Records. Don't fucking ban us, and hopefully if they do, we can dispute it. But whatever.
It's our label, and you have my blessing, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I want to find that one we were playing right before here, because I know that regardless, we can only play a small clip. So
yeah, this one was fun. This was a fun video to shoot.
So let's see if this works. I think this is gonna work. Let's go full screen here.
This is one I feel like a lot of people haven't seen.
All right, let's do this.
A lot of your friends haven't seen this one, Jared.
Brace yourself, guys. It's heavy. See, I like this part, dude. This is banging. This is a banger section. Where'd you guys film this video?
We filmed in multiple locations. This rooftop, or this attic, was in Steve's. The attic at his house he lives in, actually in North. A few blocks
Right here?
from here. Yeah.
Interesting.
And the wooded stuff, some of it was done up by Lutzen, some of it was done in Shoreview. Or
Really?
in Mounds View, actually, by Dan's house. There's a park.
Really? Interesting. And these are your buddies that you got to jump into the vid?
Yeah, my buddy Andrew. Whoop, whoop, Andrew Shrek. And then our other buddy Arlo Murin. Excuse me if I mispronounce his name, but he actually helped us shoot this video. He pretty much...
Dan is such a
was a
beast
good
on
shot.
drums.
And our other buddy Ben Alexander brought his drone in.
Where'd you shoot this?
So this was in Mounds View here.
Okay.
And this is a video, or
Is
this
this
is a
why
shot
you guys
of
were
me.
disc golfing? Is he looking for his disc?
Right? So he's chasing us, and I run through. I got a fur around my neck, like a fox fur I got up in Lutzen at a gas
Gotcha,
station,
okay.
and he's trying to kill us all.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna hit play again. Fucking the ginger beard. Your beard game is on point. I gotta give you mad props for that, dude. And I don't mind the George Michael coif that your singer has either. I think he looks great.
Oh, he does.
I think he looks fantastic.
If only we all had that hair.
I know. That's what I mean. I got great hair, so I'm not gonna fucking. But yeah,
This bee get thrown down a hill.
I have fantastically beautiful hair.
This actually kind of hurt.
You got thrown down that hill. That's hilarious, dude. All right, I feel like we're really pushing the boundaries. I really don't know what the actual rules are, so we're just gonna say fuck it and see what happens. If I get demonetized, I get demonetized. I know that my channel will probably be fine, but the video might get pulled. So we'll see. What's this one? Talons of Teeth. Oh, of Talons and Teeth. Cute title, bro. Cute title.
Check your title. This is the big scary one.
So I gotta ask you, dude. I gotta ask you. Okay. Because it's getting fucking. This is insane. This is insanity. This type of music is fucking insane.
The guy you see right there?
Yeah.
Fun fact about him is he did the vocal introduction to Hidebound.
Oh, really?
One of the other videos that we were looking at earlier.
The one
before.
It worked. That one?
Yeah,
it worked. It worked. Okay, so here's what I gotta ask you, dude. What is the fucking appeal of making music this insanely obnoxious and heavy?
Dude, it's fun.
What is the part of it that is so much fun? Is it
I think it's fun because I have musicians that can do it. Or like Steve can kill his vocal parts. Daniel is just a fucking animal, as you know. And so he's there pushing me. And it makes it a lot of fun. And you know, he likes heavy music too.
And I'm not knocking it. I mean, I listen to heavy music. Don't get me wrong. I just don't understand the motivation. And I'm asking this because I shouldn't say I don't understand. I barely understand the motivation to make heavy music, right? And if someone were to ask me that question, I would say it engages and gives me a release of a very dark and aggressive part of me. Like, so the metal, the headbanging, the fast, all that. But what I'm doing is nowhere near this level of complexity, of technicality.
There's a lot more.
Of
there's
brutality.
a lot of bands way more complex than us and doing, you know,
right. So Dalton,
stuff that we can't do.
So me and Dalton were kicking it earlier today. He came over, we did some music shit, right? And we were listening to Dillinger Escape Plan. And it's like, I can't say anything negative about that band because I get it. But it's such a niche thing. Like, it's not something I'm going to put on and jam and listen to. And I know my listeners, because my mom used to ask me, like, why do you listen to that crazy shit? And it was like, what I was listening to is now like puppy dog music compared to this shit. And I get what you're saying. There's bands that make you guys look like puppy dogs. I'm not making a comparison of like who's the heaviest. I'm trying to get into your brain and figure out like,
well, Dillinger Escape Plan's quite a bit different than than us.
Sure.
And a lot of metal bands.
I get that.
They're, you know, it takes, you know, you got to be a certain type of listener to want to listen to that. And they're amazing. They're an amazing band, talented band. I don't routinely listen to them myself.
But my question is because it's still insane music.
It is.
Right? Now I get it. I'm painting with a broad brush and I'm lumping all you guys into one bucket. I get that. But what
you played heavy music.
But not like this. We were so cookie cutter. We were like the Play-Doh of metal compared to what you guys are doing. I mean, seriously, look at all my bands.
It kind of
I've
always
like calling my band heavy after listening to something like that is kind of a joke and an insult to guys that are actually doing truly heavy music.
I really like playing with the right distortion set, and I like playing, you know, really like pushing my guitar playing, and that kind of finds itself in the heavier genre a lot, but also like just playing a show and being with guys and just being together and playing the songs and just having a crowd up front going nuts, having a pit, having the lights going, having fog.
So
going,
is that
whatever.
why you guys do the music you do? Is because you like to listen to it?
To play it live really is probably like the funnest thing. And like everyone else right now, we aren't playing any shows.
Gotcha.
So we're working on some other stuff to be putting out, and maybe doing an online show.
I gotcha.
A lot of bands have been capitalizing on that.
Trying to do something like that, yeah.
Do something. We're definitely.
I think it's a lot easier for us as musicians to do a live online show than it is for like comedians. I feel bad for those guys.
You gotta have a pretty good shtick,
dude. I can't even fucking imagine trying to do that shit.
I mean, I'm a funny guy, but I don't think I could do it.
Oscillation off. It's moving all these fucking.
You told jokes for a little bit, didn't you?
I was working on a bunch of shit. I was going to open mics. I never got up and did any of them, but I was working them in when we were performing. So I was actually working on it when, like, way back in the day when I was emceeing concerts, and I was the guy that went up and talked shit for 15 minutes while the other band. So I, with zero material or experience, I just went in and just did basically what the equivalent of crowd work is. And then I would try to write bits, and they always bombed. It was always the improv shit that worked. And then I started doing that more and more in my own bands in between songs. And it just kind of naturally evolved. And then everyone kept telling me I should get into it. So I was going to, and then COVID happened. And I had been writing material. The way I kind of looked at it is like with comedy, I figured I should write an hour's worth of material, and out of that hour I would get 5 minutes worth going on stage and experimenting worth. That was really worth doing, because that's as a newbie comic, that's probably all you're getting is about 5 minutes on stage. So if you're lucky, a lot of times it's 3 minutes. So it was like, all right, let me
the
just...
whole thing's a joke.
Jesus Christ, with the fucking puns. The business side is kind of hilarious, at least here. I'm not going to name names, but there's a few people in town that take their open mic a little too seriously. I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm definitely not up on
otherwise people are going to know what I'm talking about.
the local comedy scene.
There's some dope spots, and then there's a lot of really shitty ones. And the shitty ones are totally doing the old, like, act big, you are big thing. And it's not working. It's working the opposite way, because only shitty comedians are willing to go deal with their pretentiousness, I guess would be a right word. You know what I mean? And dude, we experienced that in the music industry, so you know what I'm talking about. Like these booking agents that are like, "Oh, I booked Godsmack," and it's like, who gives a fuck, dude? Like, just because you booked that band does not mean you know how to fucking book, promote, and run a local metal show.
Did someone tell you that they booked Godsmack once?
Yeah. I think his name was Tom, and he used to run the 400 bar.
Oh.
I think, if I remember right. I might not be naming the right place. But he was trying to instill that old pay-to-play bullshit where you had to sell X amount of tickets or you couldn't play that night. And
that's
it was
pretty
like,
much became how it's done.
Yeah,
these days.
Fuck those guys. No, I'm not doing that. Here's what's going to happen. When we get back out there, I'm renting a room. I'm fucking hiring a door guy. I'm selling tickets, and I'm paying bands. And you get a cut of the door. Like, that's a local show. You get a door deal. You know what I mean? Like, you're a local band. We're not going to have you go sell 100 tickets and then, oh, you didn't sell 150. You don't get to play tonight. By the way, give us our money for the tickets you sold. That's a fucking scam. It's bullshit, dude. If
you are getting paid, absolutely. If you're not getting paid, I could see why they would want to do that.
The problem I have is, like, you have to sell X amount of tickets to play, which is insane. It's an insane proposition. I don't care what the number is. I don't care if it's 50 tickets or 500 tickets. Like, making somebody say you have to sell this amount of tickets And yeah, you're right. The bands get
I
a
think-
small cut of the tickets they do sell, but we're not going to sell tickets to a show we're not guaranteed to play at. Like, yeah, we sell, because especially as a new band, you know what I mean? You're trying to sell 50 tickets, you sell 47, they tell you can't go on that night, you still get paid, and then your friends show up and go, dude, what the fuck?
Well, at that point, it would just be you paying for the other 3 tickets. It's like you got to pay up front. They give you the tickets and they pay you back. People, as you sell the tickets, you get paid back, and it's up to you.
Yeah, that's almost worse.
And that's pretty much the way it's been that I see. And I think the other thing is for every band that wants to put a fuss up about it, there's another fucking 20 bands that would be willing to do it.
Yeah, fuck those cucks. No,
Right,
we're not
I'm
doing
just-
that shit.
just
We're
being
not,
real,
that-
I'm
those
just
are
saying-
called enablers. No, fuck that, dude. We're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore, dude. I'm telling you. Like, when my group finally gets our shit together and we play out and I book shows, and we've talked about this for a long time. I've asked you, like, I'm going to book a bill and I want to open for you guys. And, like, we'll do it. It'll be your show, but I'm booking it. And we're not doing the pay-to-play bullshit. And then once we build that fucking equity again as, like, a group, like, 8, 10, 12 bands that are, like, respected, we're changing that culture. We're getting rid of that. We're going back to the way it used to be. We're going to make the music scene great again. We're going to make the music scene great again, Alex. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to show a lot of these fucking kids how it's done by pro equipment, sounding good on stage, rehearsing, having chemistry with your fellow artists, and actually, like, being a professional. Nowadays is what I'm seeing, the pre-COVID. I would go out and more bands, it was like, you guys might have something here with your song, but I can tell you've played with each other in a room a total of like 7 times. And you probably did it for 2 weeks leading up to this show because you wrote all this music on a computer, which is awesome and fine to use that as an asset and as a tool to, like, be creative and share files, especially during a COVID shutdown. But you guys still do it the old school way. You still get in that fucking rehearsal space on a regular basis and play your shit and make sure it's tight that way. So going back to where we said, like, you guys are very tight when you play live, and I think that's extremely crucial for your style to be a good live act.
You can practice separately the whole time, but
It's
you get
never
to the
same.
space and then you can't hear something as well. And
Yep.
back to what we were saying earlier, if you can't hear yourself, you're naturally going to play harder,
Yep.
and that's just going to add to more fatigue. And
Yep.
just make it playing sloppier, and it's just
Yeah, and like a great example of that is, like, let's say you're practicing your drums and everything's great, and this is a real common thing, is you get to rehearsal and suddenly you can't hear your kick pedal, the big one on the floor, for the people that don't know what we're talking about, right? And you suddenly can't hear that. So your natural instinct is to start hitting that drum harder, which makes you tire out faster, which makes you hit the rest of your drums softer. When all in actuality is what needed to be done is the guitar players just simply needed to turn down a little bit, or the bass player turned down just a little bit. Instead of you going louder, they go lower.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like a little closer. But not always. Sometimes, hey, you know what we need? A PA with a couple speakers and a couple subs. And we got to recreate that stage feel, because that's another thing, is then these bands get out there on a real stage with a real PA, and you can fucking see the drummer doesn't know how to play because the vibrations of the actual subwoofers and the kick drum of what he's playing are making like this weird counter beat, and you got to really fucking just like get used to it. So, I mean, I don't know where I was going with this, but I think it's interesting that you guys still put in that work in this like new digital world. And I think if the entire scene comes together and does something like that, and we start doing it the right way, like, yeah, that's where I was going with it, because that pay to play shit is gotta go. But we're not going to be able to just walk back on the scene. You get, no offense, you guys are a death metal band. It's not like you're drawing 1,500 people and headlining First Ave.
Absolutely not.
When we come back on the scene, I'm going to be lucky to get 200 people to show up to a show at the beginning,
See
right?
if people are, how they react.
You feel me, though?
COVID, see where COVID's at.
Like, we got to rebuild that equity. We're going to have to, yeah, and that's when it comes back, if it comes back, which could be 2 years from now, 3 years from now, before we actually see real live concerts again.
Crazy.
Because let's say they unlock it next summer. All right, let's all go back. That doesn't mean people are willing. That just means it's no longer a fucking immediate legal concern. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's going to take a while, especially local shows. It'll be different for the Metallicas and the Van Halens and the fucking I don't know whoever.
Well,
fucking
there's
is
really
huge.
no effective way to enforce any kind of 6-foot rule at a show.
Have you seen the new boxes they're doing at
On a
big
standing
festivals?
show?
It-
They're taping boxes?
So they're not taping them on the ground. They're bringing in tiny risers with little fucking 3'4" fences. You can have up to 4 people in each little spot, and then there's 6 feet in between each box. So like you and me and Kevin and Dalton could go to a concert, and we'd be sitting in a little box about a little smaller
But
than
at a local show.
No, not at a local show.
I guess, yeah, on a local show basis.
No way.
And that's what's going to really affect us as in our music careers right now. We're not.
I mean, what would be the math on that if you needed 6 feet in between each person and the venue only holds 1,000 people to begin with? What are you going to have? 100 people total?
And is that going to even cover the bills?
No,
It's
it won't
not.
unless you make the fucking
It's not.
ticket so high. But then nobody's going to pay
That's where
$27 to go
everything's
see your
fucked.
band. Yep.
That's the way I've been thinking about this.
Yeah, that's exactly the truth. I mean, in order to do that, get down to 100 people at a local show, they'd have to pay like $27 per person just to cover the nut for all the bands and the sound guy and the room fee and the door guys and the security guards and fucking everything else. Tip the other staff and have spread the wealth.
Yeah.
The bar would probably not even make money.
And that's on a regular basis. Like that's
Right.
every day.
Right. Yeah, because you only bring in 100 people total to a show anywhere in this town. You're not getting that room back. You're never playing. You're never booking in that room again.
No.
And word spread. So if you fucking pull that one more time, you're done. Like, that's it. You got to have... bars have a minimum. Clubs, even fucking actual concert venues like First Ave, they all have certain numbers that you got to meet or you're not worth their time anymore because you didn't bring enough people and they lost money. Because these operational costs of these rooms, people don't understand.
It's insane.
That's why you can't just show up and play a concert and be like, well, you guys are here, just sell the booze. It's like, dude, no, like there's money invested in this whole thing from top to bottom. You know what I mean? Like, I think it legitimately probably costs a minimum of somewhere between $500 and $1,000 to run a basic rock show at the Rock. A basic metal or rock show at the Rock nightclub in Maplewood. I think it was somewhere between 500 and 1,000, and that was everything, right?
500 sounds kind of cheap for the whole room.
But that's
Is that on a Tuesday?
Probably, or a Thursday or something. But no, that's the nut, right? So your room rental fee was like $200 to $500 right off the top. And then the door guy, either you hired your own,
before the door, yeah.
and then you got to get the security, and you got to pay a sound guy and a light guy, and that's why I said and that's just a basic club with reasonable rates, and you were still looking at a $500 to $1,000 nut, depending on because I think on like certain nights on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday you could get the room for like $200, and then your sound guy's $250, and then you could get away with one security guard or one door guy at $100 or whatever for the first 2 hours or whatever, 3 hours or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? And then you're just running on minimal staff. But yeah, so you got and then you got bands to pay, and bands want to get paid and they deserve to get paid. So like if you can book a band for $500 or less, that's a steal of a deal, right? But then you have 4 of those on a bill. So now you're looking at $2,000 minimum. Right? On the usual, unless you're getting really, really green local bands that are making less than $200, which you can get away with if they're super green, but that's your opener, right? Like if guys are bringing 200 to 500 people per band to a show, they're not taking a small chunk of that. If I bring you 200 people for my band and you're charging $7 to $10 a head, I'm getting a big chunk of that. But you still got a room fee to cover at $200 to $500. You see what I'm saying? So it's like everybody's got to get paid. The numbers got to work.
A lot of money.
So when you start, so basically to go back to what you said is when you start knocking down at a local show or even at a big concert, you start knocking down 6 feet in between everything. That's a lot of real estate to be lost. And in order for them to make that nut, those concert tickets are going to be expensive. So now guess what? Only rich people can see live music. That's immediately what happened. That's fucking hard to deal with, dude. That's a hard pill to swallow for especially bands like ours, where I'm not fucking Billie Eilish. I may not be in a death metal band, but that's all I mean is you're getting hit by the same thing I'm getting hit, even a little harder. Like, it's already a difficult industry and genre to make it in.
You know, everybody is dealing with it together, and it's just to take the time we have to be as productive as possible and keep writing so you have, you know, we want to have stuff ready to go.
That's the key.
On top of the other stuff. And
be proactive. That's what I've been trying to fucking tell my buddies.
The
it's
eternal
like, you better
struggle.
be fucking writing. You better be writing your ass off right now because you don't have anything else going on. Don't fucking sit here and pretend you're so busy. Like, unless you're fucking starting your own business right now, you're not that busy, right? Like, in your case, you're still busy because you never stopped doing. The only thing that dropped out is literally touring. That's all you're not doing right now is touring, which is the same thing as playing local shows, really. Because you guys haven't been a local band for a long time.
I'd say
you play one show either before you leave or when you come home from tour, right?
Yeah, a couple 2-3 a year.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like all that other time you're investing doing other shit. And there's so many people I fucking talk to right now, Alex, dude, that they ain't doing nothing, man. Like, they're depressed, they're unmotivated, and fuck, I get it, dude. I was there too, but I started losing my goddamn mind. There's only so much I can afford to do on the house right now, or there's only so much shit I can do in the remodel by myself right now, right? I time different projects out, so I'm like, man, I got all this time. I still have a little bit of money coming in because of the unemployment shit. I was like, now's the time.
Yeah.
Let's get to writing music. Let's refocus on that, and let's launch the podcast.
Yeah, and you invest a lot of time into this every day. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing. You know, it's not a full-time job, but it's not a part-time deal. I'm surprised. The thing that surprised me about the podcast is the amount of time and energy that goes into scheduling, the amount of calls and follow-ups and like keeping track of everybody. It's a lot like running a real business in that respect, dude. And it's cool. It gives me a reason to reconnect with people I haven't talked to in a long time.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And I feel like now's a good time to get certain people on because, fuck, man, when COVID goes away, you're going to be on tour. It's going to be hard to get you on. That's why I wanted to jump on and I wanted you to jump on.
I live only like 4 miles away.
You're over south?
Uptown?
Yeah, you're over south.
Yeah.
How's that shit post-riot?
Oh, you know, we're missing a few gas stations and we're missing the post office, which is the biggest rip.
Really?
But and you know, Giordano's, a few eateries, a few things up around, but it's been quiet lately.
Did they hit the heart of Uptown, or did they just stay on that vein of Lake Street?
No, like, they got on Hennepin.
They did. They got down.
So they got
Hennepin and Linden.
And I'm right on Hennepin. And they burned that speedway. They burned the bank. So they definitely did get a lot more. They burned also the Holiday gas station a block from our practice space. That was like isolated.
Really?
And it completely burned down.
Man, they got over in random parts of St. Paul, and luckily my amp was at Metro Sound when they rioted and looted, but it was tucked down below like a wall rack down on the bottom, and they either didn't see it or they saw it and didn't know what it was, and it was one of the only things that didn't get looted, broken, or destroyed, dude. I fucking dodged a real bullet on that one, dude.
You said, what kind of amp was that?
It's a 5150.
Oh,
the original 5150, not the 2. It's the original one.
Point at me like I have a 2. I had the signature, which is technically
that's what
the
I
2.
got. Well, no, there's the 5150.
There's the block letter.
Right. There's the block letter, which is the true original,
right.
And then there's the second edition, which is the signature
which
edition.
Is the 2.
No,
the second, I should say. But then they had the 5152,
correct,
which was the 3rd.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
And now they have the 3, and they have a small version of
Do
the 3.
you have the 3?
No.
I want the 3.
I still have my 1.
If I get the 3, I'm getting the 50 watter because you really, or 60 watt or whatever it is. Actually, I think it's like 65 watts. That fucking the 3, the little
plenty.
one. That's what I'm saying is like that amp, you can get away with 50, 60 watts. You don't need more than that. There's a lot of amps out there that are 50, 60 watts tubed, and they're still not enough. Because I've been through it with the Tyrants. We went through, because I was working at GC when we started that band, and so did Kevin. And the way it worked at the time, I don't think you can do this anymore, but I was allowed to loan gear because they believed it made you a better salesperson, which it totally did. Because, whoa, I would bring amp after amp after amp to the space, and we would do a rehearsal through it. And no matter what we tried, all the 50, 60 watt amps just weren't enough. They just weren't enough.
That's cool.
They just weren't enough. You know what I mean? And we ended up with a fucking right back at 120 watt tube head. You need the fucking headroom, dude. You do. In a real fucking rock band or a metal band, you need the fucking headroom. You're running an Axe Effect still, right?
2, yeah.
Okay, now you don't run. That's a solid state, like basically a computer. So you run it through like a power amp.
Yep.
And then you run that to the cab.
And so I go 2 cabs. I go 1 on each side.
So how many watts are you running through that?
Stereo 200.
Yeah. See, there you go. There you
Solid state single rack unit.
Yep.
Art SLA-2 works like a champ.
Yep. And that's what you got to do for that style of music. You need that push. Unless you're Chad from Banehinge, because that motherfucker was a genius. You remember this? At dialing in solid state tone. Do you remember that? The old Banehinge tone was solid state amps.
I remember seeing them. I don't remember them enough for that.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Chad can dial in some fucking tone. Shout out to Chad if you're watching this, buddy. Motherfucker. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anybody get a solid state amp to actually sound good. It's fucking wild, dude. You want a beer? I'm going to grab a beer.
Yes. My first head I ever had was an Ampeg VH140C. Oh, give me a hams. Give me a ham. Out of the fridge. You gonna pull a hammy out of the fridge?
I'm getting so fucking old. I gotta start jogging or something, man. It's fucking getting brutal.
Dude, you gotta come biking with me.
Biking?
I have two bikes, bro.
I ain't getting on fucking 2 wheels unless it's got a motor on it. I don't know. Did you see Spanbauer's fucking Facebook feed? He got in a fucking pretty nasty motorcycle accident. He lived. He survived. Seems like he's walking, but I've been trying to get a bike for a while. Like just waiting for the right one, the right time. I was like, fuck, man, maybe I shouldn't. Because you always want to think you're not going to be that guy who gets in a motorcycle accident. But I'm like, I feel like I'll totally be that guy. And I won't be the Alex Kelly who gets lucky and walks away from it and gets better at his instrument. I'll be the guy who loses an arm or a leg and can no longer play one of my 2 instruments. Kind of being a little bitch about it.
Well, I'll admit it. I'm counting on at least a few more of those before I run out too.
Couple more what?
Couple more like try agains.
Close calls?
Couple more close calls.
So you think you got 9 lives like a cat or something?
I don't know about 9, but I've been doing the math.
Well, you got more than 1. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I smoke a lot on these fucking podcasts. I don't know what it is about drinking beers, even when they're light beers. Drinking beers and fucking smoking cigs, dude. I love it, man. It's fucking drinking beers and ripping cigs, man.
It's your peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly time, dude. It actually kind of is, dude. You know, and then I became a coffee guy about a year ago. Coffee and cigs in the morning is huge. Love it. Can't get enough of it. I gotta quit these fucking things, though. I know they're really bad for me.
I'm glad I quit when I did, which was a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
But they were like half the price.
How long did you smoke when you quit?
I think the most I smoked was like 8 a day for like 4 months when I was landscaping.
Okay. That's not very much.
It was not too much.
You probably weren't even really addicted.
I don't. And now, dude, someone gave me a Dragon one a few months ago for the first time in a long time. It made me choke. And
really?
I didn't like it.
Would you try to hit it like a joint?
Well, of course I did.
That's funny, dude.
I gave it a few more.
So, what have you guys been up to other than writing? Do you guys got anything coming out soon?
Oh, yeah. We have been... Steven got a new camera. A really badass Sony camera.
That's your...
We're filming some videos
your
with
photographer guy?
our singer.
Oh!
So he's also a whiz with audio, video, and production, and
No shit, huh?
anything. I mean, that's pretty much what he does for a living in different forms or another. So he's got this killer 4K camera, and so we're working on some videos,
That's dope.
and we have the time to do it
Right.
if we can do it.
Right.
And I got some green screens and a bunch of cool like shit now, and we're getting different props on Craigslist, and
Really?
that's cool.
What, can you tell me what the concept is? Or can you not say that much on
There's
on the internet?
I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
It's a lot of cool stuff though. It's gonna be heavy.
What's the timeline?
I can say it's gonna be heavy.
When is this coming out?
We're not decided yet.
Okay. I mean, what's the timeline?
I would hope that we could have this album out sometime in the next year.
What about the video? You said you're making some videos.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see. It's not anytime real soon.
So are you talking the next few months, or are you also thinking
I think
like
probably
next year?
I think longer than that.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, I'm trying to fucking...
But that's not saying we won't have other stuff to post to.
Right.
Between any kind of playthroughs, we got in mind.
What about the live thing? You guys going to try to boot that up pretty soon here?
Yeah, we got to figure that out. We're working on some other merch right now that we're going to print. We just printed some masks, and we just did 25 of them, but they sold before we even got them shipped.
Oh, really?
So that's cool.
Like the COVID masks?
Yeah, I brought
Like
one.
the
You can
neck?
see what they look like.
Oh, dope.
Unfortunately, my big ass head doesn't fit.
I hope it's terrifying. I hope it makes me... It doesn't fit you?
No.
Oh, dude.
I got this one from my father.
This is for your father? Okay, so I shouldn't put it on my face. Lick the
I
inside.
wish I
of
had
it.
more. But we got some other pretty neat ideas.
Hold on.
So
This is hilarious, though.
excited.
This is actually kind of smart branding.
it's nice. It's really nice.
Because people have to look at it. And nobody has the ability to read lips, so they always look at your mask. It's kind of brilliant.
I was gonna wear it to work, but it just
This is actually pretty high quality. How much does these cost? How much you sell
we
them
sold
for?
them for $10.
You sold them for 10?
Yep. It was like $2 for shipping. $12.
Not bad. Pretty decent way to support your band during COVID times.
Right? Yeah, quality's definitely there. I want to say made in Honduras.
Not China.
We source central.
At least you keep it in the hemisphere, right?
In the Americas.
Yeah. It's in the hemisphere. We'll give you that. We'll give you that.
Yeah. We have a merch store.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did give me that link. So if people want to buy those, they
Well,
can
we are
go.
sold out of those currently.
But you're
But
gonna
we do
take,
have some other
but
merch
you're gonna
still.
take back orders, right?
I think we're gonna figure out. I don't know if we're gonna reprint
This is your merch
that
store.
exact again. Yep.
So it's Reaping for people that are just listening eventually, because right now I'm YouTube only, but we're gonna pull the audio soon, and I'm gonna relaunch all the same episodes on. I'm just gonna dump them on iTunes eventually.
Oh, cool.
So for the listeners, it's reapingasmodeia.limitedrun.com.
Boom. That's it.
And then Asmodeia, Reaping is REAPING. Asmodeia is ASMODEIA. Fucking
One a good way to
goofy
help out
ass.
your favorite band is to pick up some merch.
Yeah, none of these people are gonna be you're not going to be any of my fans' favorite band. But maybe someday, maybe they'll discover you and be like, fuck you, Jared. You're an idiot. I love death metal, and I've been starving for new content, and this is going to be the best thing that's happened to them in the last 30 days during the COVID crisis.
You said you'd make that happen for me, Jared.
I did not, but yeah. So, God damn it. We'll see.
As long as you feel good wearing it.
We'll see. The question is when are you guys going to give me one of these fucking shirts to wear on my podcast so you can get free promo forever?
Which shirt do you like?
I don't know. I don't think I'm ripped enough. Is this Dan, by the way? Who is this modeling here?
I'm not sure who that is, actually.
It kind of looks like Dan a little bit.
It's not Dan. Doesn't have those tattoos.
I don't have the guns for this. I wear tank tops sarcastically. I specifically have a big yellow one that says "Sun's out, guns out," because it's, for me, quite ironic because I don't have guns. I don't know. Just fucking. Actually, I like this one. This one's pretty dope.
What size shirt do you wear?
I don't know. What shirt is this?
Extra small?
Yep. It depends.
I'll have to see what.
It's either a medium or large.
It's
either a medium or large. But yeah, dude, if you guys hook me up with a shirt, dude, I'll wear that shit on the podcast. I'm fucking realizing. I'm realizing, like, seriously, I'm looking at my fucking wardrobe, and I was like, "Fuck, where'd all my shirts go?" Like, I think Kate's been secretly throwing out T-shirts that she doesn't like or that have holes in them or something. Because I swear to God, I had like 40 T-shirts.
You got a lot of holes in your shirts, Jared?
Maybe over time, you know? I mean,
you know what it's from?
Her and I've been together for 6 fucking years. You know what I mean? And I don't buy a lot of new clothes. I definitely am not buying enough clothes to replace my old shit. So I wouldn't be surprised over 6 years she sees holes that fucking form in the armpit or something. She probably fucking started tossing.
If you got armpit holes, Jared, maybe.
You don't get armpit holes?
I don't get armpit holes.
Yeah, dude. Fucking, they're on the smaller, tighter T-shirts, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get them like right here in the fucking. I've got them on a bunch of older T-shirts.
You get
little rips in here. That prompts
I get holes
people
in
to
all
rip
my
the
jeans.
fucking sleeves off, dude. In your jeans? Yeah, I get them in the jeans.
So you get the double gusseted crotch.
I used to get them at work a lot. I had to buy specific work pants. Because they would just get sliced up and trashed over time.
You need that a little bit of a last stain. I think that
doesn't really not at my job. I was working in a metal shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 different pairs of work pants. They all look the same.
Mine are pretty much directly just from my legs splitting and then not being able to accommodate the stretch in my ass.
Oh yeah.
In my taint area.
Yeah. So you get the little ball.
So hyperextend the denim. I went through a lot of good jeans in the early Reaping days, bro.
And then you get a testicle popping out while you're up on stage playing guitar.
If it's the left side.
Let me ask you that. Have you ever been groped on stage?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like ever enough that made you uncomfortable?
No, I ain't really put myself out there like that.
But like you get up there, you know, you put your leg up on the monitor and shit, and
you know what? I haven't
girl come up and tickle the balls.
I haven't been. I've probably had more guys tickle my balls doing that than
I've probably tickled you.
I think you probably have at least gotten within range.
My move is to always find your bass drop pedal and just randomly walk up and hit it. That's my move. Like I do it to Rich when he's playing drums. I find out how to get on stage. I watch. Like I sit back and I find my little path, and then I sneak up, and there's always some security guard that's like, fucking, hey, you can't. And I'm like, fuck off. And and I just keep sneaking past, and they're like, what the fuck? And usually somebody's like, he's a friend, it's fine. And I sneak up there, and then I walk up, and depending on where we're at, I'll get next to Rich and just boom, just hit that drum pad bass drop. I do it with you because you have the pedal sitting up there.
Do you do it in time at least?
Yeah.
Right,
but I do it in random spots. Right. I don't do it like in the predicted spot. I wait, and then I pop up out of nowhere and just boom.
Well, and that's the beauty of it is there's shows where I just get a little bass drop heavy and I'll improvise. And it's fun. Awesome. It's fucking great. Especially when you have a system that can really fucking pump it, man.
Yeah.
I remember Anthony would pump
at the Triple
Station
Rock
4.
Station 4, yeah.
We played the last show they ever had there.
Really?
And Anthony mixed it, and he fucking had that shit a bunch of red line, man. It was
I
just
bet.
so loud.
Why wouldn't he? You know,
And that
fuck
big,
it, let's push
long
it.
room. Oh,
That was a noisy fucking room. The whole thing was just concrete. Just four flat walls of concrete. But you got enough people in there, it started to sound fine.
yeah.
Like when the place was packed, it sounded great.
What a cool venue, because it had those windows too. You could just kind of be chilling at the bar and looking still.
Yeah, and you could stand outside and look in and watch when you're smoking and shit. And it was still loud enough to where you could still see the
big
show.
ass bands outside looking in.
I loved the fact that I could go out how many times did you go see a show where you actually went to see the first or second band, but you really liked the headlining band, but there was that one or two bands in between that were like, ugh. But it was nice because during the summer you could go hang out outside and still keep an eye out for when they got done. And then you knew, okay, I got 5-10 minutes. I got to get inside because my boy's going to start and I really want to see him or support him or whatever. That was a cool venue where you could pull that. Were you ever there when they fucking... Oh, shit, we've been shared on this TV this whole time. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Were you ever there?
Thanks for the promo.
Were you ever there when we I can't remember who the fuck was playing, but we were one of our bands, not literally me and you, but us. We were the bill, and somebody had brought in a headliner
At Station 4?
Yeah. Yep. And they didn't like the fact that people were standing outside watching and they weren't inside watching. So do you remember they tried to the security guards stood in front of that window and tried to block it so you couldn't see in? And then they even taped up cardboard. And it was assholes. We are the people at your show. The local bands, that is your fan base. The reason they're not in there watching your band is because you suck. We brought you 1,000 people or 800, whatever that fucking club held. We brought you those people. They were there to see us.
That's a really petty thing to do, especially if you already got a packed club.
You remember that shit though? And then
I remember stuff being taped on the window.
And then they started doing that shit for national shows because we'd be going to rehearse, right? Because there was the rehearsal spaces above, and we'd be out there meeting people, and we'd be hanging out, and we'd just be checking out the band for 15-20 minutes while we're waiting for people, and they'd come outside and be like, "You guys can't stand here and watch the show for free." Fuck you guys, man! God damn it, dude! Just a bunch of dicks, dude. And that only happened for a year or two. But do you remember that?
I kind of do. I kind of remember stuff being taped on the windows. And
yeah, they didn't permanently do it. It wasn't a long-term thing, but it was a solid year or two they did that shit. It's dude, this is your best fucking promo.
That fucking venue, man. I miss that venue.
And it happened after the smoking ban. That's what it was.
Because, yeah, you'd have to go outside to smoke.
Yep.
I was trying to think, because that was how long ago was that?
Fuck. It seems like forever.
It's been more than 10 years?
It has to be. Has to be 10 years ago. Has to be. It feels like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I don't even smoke, but...
Yeah, and I wasn't smoking when the smoking ban went into effect.
And neither was I, and I think that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was so funny because I didn't even smoke anymore, and I couldn't stand being around smokers. But I also knew that when I went to the bar, that was their world, not mine, as a non-smoker, right? So I was cool with it, and I was super against the smoking ban because I knew it was going to kill small local venues. And when I say small for the listeners, I'm talking less than 1,500 people. And it did. I mean, we used to be able to regularly pack 1,000 people into any of those clubs. Smoking ban hit, 400 was a good crowd. Remember that shit? It took really special bands to sell out, whether it was even something what does the Triple Rock hold? 600?
Something like that.
Something like that? That sounds about right.
That sounds pretty packed there. But something like that.
That's one of my favorite clubs, dude. The Triple Rock.
Triple Rock was amazing. Perfect size.
Are they still around, or did they close down?
They
finally
closed down.
Oh,
it's been, I think it's been 2 years.
That was the last vestige of a good, true local venue.
It is a type of school, I think, right now.
Fuck.
Reaping.
What happened?
Reaping played our first show at the Triple Rock.
You played the last show at Station 4. Did you get to play the last show at Triple Rock? Because now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm remembering.
No, we didn't play the last show that happened there.
You played the last weekend? I think you did because you were.
We did play. I don't know what exactly the relation.
Weren't you supposed to be the last show, and then somebody booked, like, you guys booked the show, you promoted it as the last show, and then like a week before you played, they booked another show the next night, and that ended up being the last show. I swear to God, I remember something like that. If it wasn't you, it was one of my other buddies.
I think that might have been for Gravezig and not Reaping.
That would make sense because you're in that band too.
Yeah, I think that's
would make
what the
perfect
deal
sense.
was. And then that was like the 1 year we didn't play. Yeah, because it was for the Dimebag show, and
That
we
would make
didn't
perfect
play
sense
that
then.
year. The only year we didn't play.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Tell people about that, dude, because you got this.
That's fun
groovy
too.
little band.
Dude, we've been jamming a lot too. Like we definitely have a whole big roster of
So
songs.
for the people that don't know, explain what Gravezig is.
Gravezig is a Misfits tribute band that I am in. Daniel is in, and
Daniel's
our
your
buddy
drummer for
Jay-
people that don't know.
Daniel is Daniel Copy, the drummer of Reaping.
Dan Copy. No one calls him Daniel. I don't know why you guys are so fucking formal. You guys are trying to be gentlemen because you're in a death metal band. That's what it is.
He
I'm
might not
convinced
even
of it.
ask for it. I'm just calling him that. I'm just making him
No
look
one
like-
calls him Daniel. Everyone calls him Dan, but it's always written Daniel. And no one calls you Alexander, but it's always written Alexander.
Dan
Like,
Iale.
you guys are trying to fucking listen, guys. We're fucking brutal. We're like pirates. Let's clean it up a little bit. Let's use our full names. It's
That-
the gentleman thing to do.
It's gonna catch on.
It's good. It definitely, dude. We're trending.
Dan XCL.
We're blazing trails, boys. Anyways,
good shit
Gravezig.
here.
Gravezig. Sorry.
Gravezig Misfits tribute band. I actually play the bass guitar. Dan plays the vocal chords. And
Andy fucking Altman is playing guitar.
he's
in that.
actually not.
He was.
He was for a minute there, a hot minute.
Because when I seen
Fucking
you guys, he was
amazing
playing
player,
guitar.
amazing player.
Andy Altman's the man.
He is in Hex Vortices.
I love that
Check
dude.
them out; they're sick. He is actually no longer with us. We have a new guy, but we haven't announced him yet.
Oh, really?
So
Do I know him?
I feel like if I tell you,
Do I know
you're
him?
going to start to speculate, and then you might.
No, do I know him?
Yeah, you know who he is.
Okay. So I'm definitely going to speculate. So does he have long hair or short hair?
Depends.
I think I already know who it is. Is it?
You better not say it. You can't say it.
I have no information. This is a guess.
You would never guess it anyway.
I think I know exactly who it is.
I don't think you're.
Did you used to be in a band with him?
Actually, no.
Did you used to be in a band that he used to be in? That's yes.
No.
Okay, so it's Chris, isn't it? His name's Chris, isn't it?
No.
It's not Chris?
I promise you, it's not. You actually probably wouldn't guess who it is.
Is it Kyle?
No.
Okay.
Kyle was in the band though.
Yeah,
For a long
yeah,
time.
right. Ah, dude. You got to tell me off the podcast.
I'll tell you off the podcast.
You have to tell me off the podcast, dude. You have to. Otherwise, I'll lose my fucking mind.
I can't give you any more hints, but you know him.
Oh, I want to keep guessing. This is so much fun.
Well, yeah, eventually you're just gonna guess everyone in the damn scene. So I'm just gonna say no for everyone.
Okay, I got 2 guesses. I get 3 more.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I make the rules. So
You get one more guess,
okay, we'll compromise because you are the guest. So you get a say.
and you already guessed.
Oh, pun. Okay. All right, one more guess. Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? Who could it be? It is Jeremy Blake.
No,
That's it. I only get 3. But
that was a good guess though.
You're gonna tell me off the podcast.
That was a good
anyways.
guess.
You're gonna tell me off the podcast, anyways. I actually think I do know who it is now because I think I have heard somebody say something about this. But we'll see.
But check us out. We're looking at trying to figure out when we can play again too. You know, it's the whole experience. Or at least
You guys
it's
paint the faces. You
it's
guys are pretty
always
fucking-
growing. That band's always getting larger with how we present.
And you guys do a annual show.
We do, with Jim Schlomer.
It's right around Halloween.
It's right around Halloween. It's like the week of Halloween.
It's not to be mistaken for a Halloween show, though. It's the Dimebag Darrell tribute show.
It's an awesome show. We were happy to be a part of it. It's
You've been doing it almost every year, right?
We've been doing that for like 6 years and maybe missing 1 year. Yeah, and there's a band called Black Garden. Some guys that do Soundgarden and Black Sabbath tunes, and they just nail it. Fucking great. And then lesser known Saint Boys, who Jim, the promoter.
Black Garden is the band I seen when you guys, because you were doing it at the Triple Rock for years, and then it got moved to like some fucking random VFW I went to.
In Uptown.
Dude, that Black Garden band, that dude, that fucking singer blew my fucking mind. Like, man, I'm friends with him on Facebook now. Forgive me, buddy, if you're watching this. I asked him to actually be on the podcast, and I can't fucking remember his name because I've been drinking. God damn it, I know his fucking name. He reminded me. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. And fuck you, John, if you're watching this. I still think you're a piece of shit. This guy, Dennis, that's his name. Dennis Asher. That's his name. Dennis Asher reminds me of a better, more talented, like better looking, more charismatic, and better musician. But he reminds me of John from the Tyrants. But like all the way good at all the stuff. Like, he's a brilliant guitar player. He's a professional vocalist. He's better looking, and he's more charismatic, and he just commands that fucking stage. Like, he seems like a fucking pro. And I was standing next to Kevin, and I nudged Kevin, and I go, dude, if this guy is ever willing to fucking join the Tyrants, I'm rebooting that band with or without you. And he goes, I would do the same. Because Kevin's doing like nursing school and shit now. He's getting a real life. So he's like, I'll still do music, but like, this is my thing now. So him and I still fucking around with some shit, but that was me, him, and John. And like, John's a fucking mess. Like, I've said it to his face. I'm not using this platform to bash him behind his back. Everybody knows I hate John. Everybody knows we're still not cool. You're not exactly on great terms with John. No one is on great terms with John. Like, I'm not being that guy. Like, this is an open thing. Everybody knows it. He's my old singer from my fucking band. I'm not like airing beef that people don't know about and I'm not like fueling the drama. I'm acknowledging the reality that everyone already knows and kind of catching you guys up in the weird history of our scene and politics. And also, I never took an entire episode, and I never will, to tell my entire story, because I'm going to do 1,000 of these. I'm going to do thousands of these episodes. You're going to get to know my story over time. You know what I mean? So I was in a band with John, and it was called The Tyrants. The video's up on my page under a different playlist. And for our very first show, Alex comes, and he borrows us his cab, and we play this fucking show. And Alex has this gorgeous girlfriend. I don't remember her name. We don't need to name her name. It doesn't matter. But she is obnoxiously beautiful. Like, everyone who looked at this girl was like, holy fucking shit, who is that chick? And then it's like, oh, that's Alex's girlfriend. And everyone would go like, oh, of course. Like, that makes perfect sense, right? And then they'd respect that. End of story. Except for John. Went out of his way because she starts getting drunk and flirting with him. And she starts hitting on John. John starts flirting back. And I'm like, dude, I slap him. And I'm like, that's Alex's girlfriend. And he's like, and I'm like, bro, I don't need to finish this story. Everyone sees where I'm going with it. Like, you borrowed him your cab, and then he tries to fuck your girlfriend all on the same night. And it's like, dude, this is not a good way for
nobody else was fucking my girlfriend that night. Nothing else happened.
Exactly. And like, that's the thing is, but John was delusional enough to actually think that was the thing. And it's like, no, dude, she's just drunk. She's not hitting on you. She's just drunk, and she gets flirty when she's drunk. Like, that's not a thing. Like, you gotta stop. And he's like, well, if he's not, and oh my God, I just wanted to fucking strangle him. And I should have known. But where I was going with this is
I did tell him that we were not together because we we were kind of like hanging out, but we weren't together.
I remember that. Yeah.
So that was the introduction, but still, he knew that I.
Right.
You know better.
And dude, she
you
came
know
there
better,
with
bro.
You. She came there with you. Like she's not sleeping in someone else's tent that night, bro. But where I was going with this is I seen that fucking black garden band, and I was like, this.
So does he got like that John's nose or something?
I just think they look somewhat similar, and they have like a similar style. They both play tellies, like, but this Dennis dude is just like way better in every way.
So maybe this Dennis guy got all the good. It's like Twins, that movie Twins.
Yeah.
With
They were
Danny DeVito
separated at birth, exactly.
Because that dude is kind of a big dude too.
Yeah. And he's got this like amazing
dude,
and he's just such a good guitar player, and he was a great singer. The way he was hitting those fucking Ozzy notes from that Black Sabbath shit,
really
dude.
Good.
Like, he was a beast, man. He was a beast. And the funniest part is I hit him up and I was like, dude, would you ever be interested in doing this? And he was like, dude, I like it, maybe. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh shit. But just like everything else, it's timing and like, do we have enough time? Blah 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 blah. But I asked him to be on the podcast. He's like, no way. He's like, I would fucking freeze out. He's like, that's not my thing. And it's like, all right, I respect that. I get that. Like, there's certain people that are down to do this. There's certain people that aren't. But one of these days, dude, like, I'm getting that dude on the podcast.
Bring the podcast to him.
Right? Just show up.
I would be that dedicated.
He was so good, dude. That Black Garden band. I'm telling you, man. Like, I don't know. He's in a real band called is it Midnight? No, Good Night Ritual. If you guys are interested to hear the band I'm talking about, it's not the exact band, but it's the same singer and guitar player, same drummer, and I think even possibly the same bass player. But regardless, those guys are check them out. Good Night Ritual. Those guys are fucking top notch, dude.
Top notch.
Absolutely phenomenal.
And the headliner though does a double Pantera set every year, and they're fucking amazing. So
I think I always end up leaving.
And unfortunately, it gets late. Like they close the bar.
I don't think I've ever seen them
playing them,
or I get kicked out, or I'm backstage.
I don't think I've ever made it through both their sets sober. I certainly haven't done that.
I can do. It's just so hard to stay out to the bars till fucking 1-2 o'clock now, dude. Like, I got shit to do, man. For real. Like, I don't. We were talking about this the other night, and it's like I don't even want a headline. Because you go on at fucking midnight. I don't want to play at fucking midnight, dude. Are you kidding me? I want to play.
People leave. People always leave.
I want to play at like 10 or 11. I want to play at 10, to be honest.
That's
the time slot.
Depending on what your slot is, like it can definitely work in your favor to be a second or third band.
I'm telling you, man.
It's and unless you really are deserving the headlining spot, it's don't.
Do you remember when I was booking shows? I stopped booking headliners. I booked closers.
Yeah.
So literally, I went opener, warm up / direct support, headliner, closer, for that exact reason. Because it was like, you're basically the same thing as the opener at that point. Like, if you're lucky, bring 50 to 100 people that are actually there to see you, and then just like, don't suck. So the people that were there to see the headlining band, the true headlining band, they're not chased out the door because your band's so fucking obnoxious or whatever the case may be.
The only difference in that scenario is the closer, like, not only is it late, but no one really cares to see him anyways.
You know what I always did?
There's no one there.
You know what I always did? So when I booked those bills, I would put the most high energy band third as the fucking quote unquote headliner. And then that next band, that closing band, I would do is like a cool other direction, like chill, low-key thing. And it was really interesting. It really worked well because, like, for example, if I booked your band, the following band, that closing act for that night would be like a chill, acoustical, like bluesy R&B thing. And it was shocking how many people went through 3 bands, and I try to ramp the energy up, right? So if you're headlining the band before, you would be slightly less heavy and obnoxious, and then the band before that might not even be heavy at all, right? Let alone faster upbeat. I'm trying to get a diversity of a crowd, right? Build the room. And then, dude, I was shocked how many times like a band like yours would get off, and then that chill contrast, they'd be like, dude, this shit's dope, bro. And they'd fucking go get their beer and they'd go right back up and watch the entire headlining band set, because it's like they were also done. Like, you don't want to have that fourth band try to even ramp it up another notch. You know what I mean? Because it's like, even the people that are there to party, they're burnt out too. Like, they're ready to like, let's ride this wave down a little bit, you know? And then they leave on like a cool vibe. They're like, man, I seen a lot of wild music tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's tough when you're at fucking a show and there's 4 death metal bands, and then that final one, you're burnt out, you're done, the crowd's leaving, is fucking, and they're just loud and they're hitting it as hard as they can. It's like, dude, enough is enough.
Yeah,
by the time they're done, there's 8 people in the room. You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
It really,
that's a late night.
It would be 1. It would be, if they went on at midnight, it'd be 1 when they get off. But still, there's no one there. You know, and if there is, it's the rest of the bands just hanging out waiting to get paid. You know what I mean? That's when I'm always running around at your shows and shit. I'm always running around. The place is emptying it out, and I'm fucking just partying up with random fucking musicians throughout the night. I'm in backstage. I'm in the office. I'm fucking running around. What are you guys doing? Hey, where's the after party? And there's never an after party anymore.
There's no after parties ever. Yeah.
Not anymore. There used to be. We used to have Area 52.
Area 52.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That fucking place, dude. You got any crazy Area 52 stories?
Yeah.
I got a million of them. I'm saving them because over time they're just going to come out just from different guests that remember me doing crazy shit there.
I went there when I was first jamming with Six, who we referenced earlier, and we were up hanging out, and I remember drinking some Everclear, the 190 proof stuff. Like, I had a little shot of it.
Yep.
And they told me I was in the band. Yeah, yes. That night, they had like plastered my car or my SUV with printouts of like a derpy ass picture of me with spiked hair making a face, and it said, "You're gay." Sorry not to be.
But that's not like. But that's not how we took that shit back then.
That's like, I mean, that's really what they did. But I was like, I'm in the band, you know, I'm in the fucking band, so let's have some Everclear. And man, I was really good about drinking and driving, but I did drive home that night still. But I was good. I wasn't drunk.
So what happened at Area 52 after you drank the Everclear?
There was a lot of people that were just partying. I think there was a band playing. I think
there was always bands
sub-level.
That's how the whole thing started. The whole thing started as like an open mic for musicians. So like, it started off. It took a long time to build. But it was like musicians that weren't that great trying to, or they were great, but nobody knew who they were. And you'd go to Area 52 and you'd jam on the house rigs, and you'd jam in front of people and just hang out. And then bands got built in that place. Like, people got married in that place. Like, it was a magical place for a long period of time. And then eventually, slowly but surely, really good musicians started going there to hang out after shows. And then once like some legit musicians started hanging out there after their shows and it became the after party spot, that's when dudes like me, up and coming young musicians, were like, well, I need to go there to meet these people and build, you know, because I was a young hustler, you know, networking, like all that kind of shit, you know. And I don't think I ever got up and jammed. I think I did once, and I tried to do some like offbeat drumming, which actually I remember my shit was like legit and it was on time and I was on the right thing, but the guys were just like thrown off. And I just remember thinking, I was like, man, y'all fucking suck. Like if it's that easy to throw you off, like y'all fucking suck. Because I wasn't even a real drummer and I still knew what I was doing, and it wasn't that crazy. I was like doing a doon doon ka doon doon ka doon ka doon doon ka doon doon ka doon ka doon doon ka. Really simple, right? But switching that groove in the middle of the thing, everyone's like, I can't find my one. It's like, do you not know how to count? Like, you shouldn't need the snare drum to stay on one. We're in a fucking small jam space. Don't act like we're live and we have bad sound and you can't hear the drums all of a sudden. Like, fuck, dude. And it was so funny, but I never got up after that. Not once. No. Because people were like, what the hell was that, dude? Like, that wasn't very good. And I was like, wow, okay. Got it. This is not the place to like actually.
You're not very good, bro.
This is not the place to actually like try to do shit. Like you get up here and you play your fucking cheesy in the box shit. You work out a couple tricks. Like, got it. Understandable. Like, and I never did it again.
They want you in the pocket.
But I hung out, dude. I hung out there for 2 years.
I may be actually thinking of a different place. I was thinking of Mini Beef. Is that the same place?
No.
Because that's where I was thinking of.
Because Area 52.
I don't think I actually ever went to Area 52.
No shit. Oh, dude, you missed out. That was like the best part of the music scene. Honestly, man, it really was, dude.
Where was it?
It was in Northeast off Madison and Monroe. Where they cross. Or sorry, not where Madison and Monroe cross. It's Madison and Monroe. Those are the two blocks. It's in between those two streets. And basically, you would come up Lowry, and you'd take a right on one of them, and you'd go whichever one came first. I think Madison comes first. And you'd go all the way down, and you'd hit a dead end, take a left, and take another right. And it was near these two grain silos in the industrial complex right there by the river. And, dude, we'd be there till sunup every Friday.
Was it
and
an
Saturday
established
night.
venue?
No.
It was just like
It was a secret underground club that only musicians went to, or really close friends of musicians went to after our shows on Fridays. I think it was supposed to only be Friday nights, and then they started renting rooms out as rehearsal spaces, so then it became a Friday, Saturday night thing. But Area 52 itself was still open, only open on Friday nights itself.
Did you go to Mini Beef then?
No. I've never heard of Mini Beef.
I wonder if it's the same damn place, dude.
It's in Northeast.
Yeah, it was in Minneapolis. I don't remember exactly where because it's been so long. And I'd only been there, I think, once or twice.
No shit.
I think it was the same place.
It might have been. It might have been somebody else trying to do something else.
Because there was definitely people playing there and practicing there, and it was kind of like hidden. And it sounds like it. It sounds like the place.
It was pretty sick, dude. I've always joked and maintained that someday I'm going to write a movie about Area 52 because there's that many crazy. It's like a Dazed and Confused style. Like, just pick a night, either make up a story, because even if I didn't experience it, it probably happened there. You know what I mean? Like, the hardest part would be getting the rights because there's so many people that would need to be there.
This was definitely the same place.
You think?
Yeah.
I can't believe I never heard of Mini Beef.
That's how Six put it. I'd like to ask them and just see and confirm.
Should we call him? Let's call him right now.
Can we call a friend?
Yeah, let's do it. Whose number in 6 do you have? I don't think I have any of their numbers.
I mean, I think I got them all.
I don't think I have any of them. The closest chance I would have.
I got Al.
Do you call Al? He'll answer if you
Call Al in town.
Yeah. Put him on speaker and put it on the mic. Oh, you got a bad number, bitch. Hold on, let me see. I don't think I have any of their numbers, but let me just double check. Oh, you know whose number I might have?
I think I have Neil's. If it's still his, I haven't talked to him.
Yeah, call him.
I do not.
I might have. I hopefully this is still Chris's number. Hold on, I'm calling him right now. Hopefully this is still Chris's number.
Hunter?
Yeah.
I wonder if he knows.
Let's see.
Because I don't think we ever went there after he was in the band.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. He's probably not going to.
Otherwise, I have Kevin's number.
Call Kevin. He'll remember. He was the only drummer of that band forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think Chris is going to answer.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging.
Damn, dude. You went straight to voicemail.
A lot of old contacts in this phone.
Damn, bro. Let me see if I got Kevin's number. Because now I gotta know now. I'm going to lose my mind. No, I don't have Kevin's number. I don't think I have Neil's number either. What's his last name?
Eldridge.
Yeah, no, I got Roski, the singer from Death Row. I don't have any of
like
those
Adam
motherfuckers' numbers.
Was like before my time. I don't have Adam's.
Oh, Pinky?
Pinky, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. We got to get a hold of Neil. Let's see if we
Neil would know for sure.
Let's see if we can pull this off. I'm going to see if I can find.
Well, I might have Carrie's number.
She might know.
I mean, they might be together.
How come I'm not friends with Neil Eldridge? What the fuck? Are you serious? The fuck? This is a great podcast. This is great. This is really great. Hold on. We have to figure this out. I can't find him on Facebook
For some
either.
reason, I
Is he
remember
not on Facebook? Oh, Neil Eldridge. There he is. Okay, boom. We are friends. That
I swear I
cocksucker.
just remember him referring to it as the mini beef.
The mini beef. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's see if we can get him on here. Come on, Neil. Come on, Neil. Don't fail me. Oh, yeah, and then there's Phil. Phil might know. Fuck. This is going to drive me nuts. Nobody's answering. Of course. I haven't talked to any of these guys in years. They're like, what the fuck is Jared doing calling us? You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, I got to confirm something with you.
Yeah. Hey, I'm on a podcast.
Everybody's listening.
Jesus Christ.
Well, something we can touch on.
Somebody's going to have to, if anybody knows what the fuck we're talking about, we need clarification on this. Who else would know? Who was around back then?
Steve. Tall Steve.
Tall Steve. This is the worst description of all time. Who the fuck is Tall Steve? Which one? There's like 6 tall dudes
Isn't
named
it Steve Shagwell? I don't know his actual last
yeah,
name.
I don't have his number. You know who might answer the phone is Dan Knight, and he might know about that. Do you remember Dan-O from B? Let's see if he answers. He probably won't answer either. He's busy, and he's in California. Well, actually, that's 2 hours behind us, so he might actually answer.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
Nope. He sent me to voicemail, too. He's like, this motherfucker. He knows. He probably thinks I'm trying to call him and get him on the podcast, which I did ask him, but he's not.
You literally are trying to do that by that call.
Oh, touche. Well played. Well played, sir. Well played. I can't think of anybody else that would have been around and gone to that place so regularly where they would have called it mini beef. I've never heard of this. I don't think it is the same place, but maybe. If anybody knows what we're talking about and they can clarify, like comment or whatever, put something in the comments or text me or something. Because I have no fucking idea what you're talking about, this mini beef place. Was it magical? Was it upstairs in a warehouse?
Yeah.
So you like walk in and you went up like a square spiral staircase, like doot.
I feel like it was something kind of weird like that, and it was upstairs,
like the second floor.
It was on the second floor, and there was some practice spaces there, and there's a ton of people hanging out.
Interesting.
It's got to be the same place.
Yeah, I remember this place was so secret. Like you had to be invited.
I didn't know about it until I got invited that night.
That's a fucking cool spot, dude. Yeah. I don't even know where to start. There's so many fucking stories and shit that went down. Here's one thing I do remember. I don't remember who it was, but I remember there was a couple that met at Area 52 and literally had their wedding and got married at Area 52.
Oh shit.
Yeah. That's how like special of a place it was. Yeah, pretty mind-blowing, dude. I seen a Super Bowl party there. I watched the fucking I watched the Patriots Eagles Super Bowl there and had a long, deep conversation with a girl about anal sex. I remember I got a fucking lap dance there, and in order for me to get this lap dance from these two strippers, I had to wear a Motley Crue thong that they bought earlier that night at the Motley Crue concert, because they came there after the Motley Crue concert, right? And So I'm like, fine, I'll put this fucking thong on because I want this lap dance from these two smoking hot ass strippers, right? And so I go in the back. I go in the back room. I put the thong on, and I come out, and there's this dude sitting in this chair, getting a lap dance, not wearing the thong, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, all right, dude, cool. You jumped in. That's great. It's my turn. And he's like, no, give me a minute. And I was like, fuck you. I'm standing here in this thong, and I remember holding my junk because my junk was falling out. It's a girl's thong. It's a fucking female thong, right? So everything's falling out of it. I'm like, get the fuck out of that chair. I swear to God, I'm going to push you out of that chair. and dude's like, he looks at me and he's like, fuck you, Jared. Let me enjoy this. And I just walked up and I grabbed the side of the chair and just pushed it. And he went flying out of it. And then I sat down and he got up and he's like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, I'm in a thong. Touch me and see what I'm willing to do. And dude walked away and we've never spoken. We were friends before that, like close friends. That was a line for him. That was it. We never spoke since then. He's like, that's done. I got my fucking lap dance, dude. But here's the thing is I was standing there in a thong. I had to go through a thing to get this. Like, you should have waited. Like, you should have waited until I was done, not jump in there. Like, oh, well, let me just get a quick one while he's putting that on. Like, okay.
Would you say that was a dick move?
It was a dick move. It was a big-time dick move. On both of our parts, but I was justified. Like, you can be justifiably a dick sometime. I think so. I think you can be a dick sometimes, and it's justifiable. And I think I was justified.
Everybody should be a dick once in a while.
Dude.
Or you're only shorting yourself.
Dude, it was a thong bikini. Like, it was not like my ass cheeks were out, my testicles
Did
were
you get to keep
out.
it?
No. The girls took it. It was theirs. They bought it from the Motley Crue concert. I hope they enjoyed my ball sweat.
That sounds like a good time.
There's so many fucking stories about that place, dude. I mean, like, I could do an entire podcast with David Slamowski, the guy who originally founded the place. I could do an entire podcast with him just on Area 52.
Did you know him?
I mean, I got to know him. It's not like we were like best friends or anything. Like, but I got to know him pretty well, you know. And I went there for probably a solid year or two, like almost every Friday night. There was no better party in town. It really was that great of a place to be. Yeah, man. It's one of those things where it's like, you know how old people are like, man, I wish I could go back. That's the only thing I wish I could go back to. Out of all of that shit we all did, like, there's no regrets, but if I could go back, that would be the time to go back to, because that was just such a crazy fucking... It was unreal, dude. It's hard to believe unless you were there and you experienced it. I'm excited to have more people that remember it on the podcast, because there's stories I don't remember. Those are just a few of the ones I can throw off the top of my head.
That was a wild place. I wish I could have gone there more.
Well, listen, man, we've gone almost 2 hours, dude. You want to keep going or you want to wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up for tonight.
All right, man. Remind people where they can follow you, where they can find your shit, like you personally on social, if people are interested in checking you out.
Yes, Alexander Drake Kelly on Facebook.
Okay.
Reaping Asmodeia, Prosthetic Records, Impuritize out now.
We'll play this as we...
And we have new stuff coming.
And you have new shit coming?
New shit coming. Look next year.
You're going to be on again. We're going to have you, and we're going to have Copy on. We're going to bring Dan on. We're going to have you guys on a few more times.
And Gravezig. If you're a fan of the Misfits, check out Gravezig.
Just like it sounds. Gravezig. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Gravezig.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah, yes.
I hope that's right. All right, we'll play this on the way out.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, Jared. It's been a good time.
It's been a blast, dude. We'll fucking let this run for a minute. It's so insane. All right, dude. Let's wrap it up. Thanks for coming, buddy. Let's do it again soon. It's
Absolutely.
fun, man. I had a blast with you, man. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, hit the watch button, all that shit. I think I fucked that up. Have a good night, guys.
Night.